That's, yeah. Again. Again. Again.
I can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
In his prime.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, what a man. I mean, what a world champion.
Well, he sure turned back the hands of time on that one.
The boxing community is in shock following leaked video clips showing Manny Pacquiao intensely preparing for a potential bout with Mario Barrios. At 46 years old, Pacquiao's trademark speed and punching power seem as sharp as ever. His trainer remains confident, claiming Pacquiao still has what it takes and boldly forecasting a victory over Barrios. The fans are divided, some skeptical, others hopeful, as speculation around the legend's return heats up.
Machine. He ran an hour. He did strength and conditioning with you, which is not easy.
He ran an hour. He didn't realize that this gets a bit harder. And as we increase the rounds, he's going to pull back on the runs a little bit. Now he knows.
He did strength and conditioning with you. He went all out. He worked hard, and now he's doing 1,600 sit-ups.
Yeah, well,
he's a machine.
Yeah.
What kind of machine is he?
Huh?
What kind of machine?
Crazy machine. He will, but as we increase this, we'll pull the running back shorter, faster. But you know, he knows. So now he knows what the train's about. We increase the train, we increase the stations, change it up all the time, so it's continually shocking his system, and we'll get the good results.
It was a great workout this morning. He worked hard, as he always does. And the whole team's here. You feel the energy, the vibe.
Yeah,
good energy.
More people than I thought, but you know.
This is light.
This guy here, I got training with this guy.
This is light.
Been trying like weeks now. He's worried, and he keeps bugging me out his fucking jacket. Give me a job, give me a job.
Come on, mate.
Yesterday at the gym, he was throwing flurries, 10, 12, 15 punches in a combo. That's looking incredible.
Listen, I know medicine and bags don't punch back, but he looks the same as he did.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that. He hasn't missed a beat.
No, he hasn't missed a beat.
Leaked training footage of Manny Pacquiao has taken the boxing world by surprise. Despite being 46, the 8-division world champion continues to showcase the lightning-fast hands and agile footwork that made him a legend in his prime. In a sport where split-second reflexes are crucial, both fans and analysts were stunned by how sharp and lively Pacquiao appears as he gets ready for his upcoming clash with Mario Barrios.
Don't shadow boxing like that.
Because it's lazy, right? Just kind of...
When you do the shadow boxing like that, what is that for? Because you can apply that habit. You become a habit. When you shadow boxing like...
Woo! Woo! The speed is still there. Woo!
In a recent conversation, boxing experts Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora shared their thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's surprising return to competition. Mora pointed out that Pacquiao's footwork, especially his, remains remarkably sharp, a trait often preserved in fighters who maintain discipline and stay active. Unlike brief comeback clips from legends like Mike Tyson, which seemed more symbolic than serious, Pacquiao's footage reflects sustained effort and elite conditioning. Mora stressed that this isn't just a performance. Pacquiao's training is genuine, intense, and clearly aimed at a real return to the ring.
Left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing eye need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed. It in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao's not going to have 0 legs.
Mora also dismissed any concerns about Pacquiao's health, noting that the former champion's physical condition indicates he's still in top fighting form. Mannix agreed, saying the footage points to a genuine comeback rather than a sentimental return. Both analysts acknowledged that while age naturally presents obstacles, Pacquiao seems to defy the norm, still sharp, focused, and driven enough to contend at a high level. Pacquiao's record speaks to his toughness and endurance. Out of 72 professional bouts, he has only suffered 3 knockouts, 2 of which occurred early in his career during his developmental phase. Over time, he transformed into one of boxing's most tactical and cautious fighters, able to adapt and compete, even against bigger, stronger opponents. This refined ring intelligence gives fans confidence that Pacquiao may still have what it takes to go toe-to-toe with Barrios, even at age 46.
Man style, but I don't think he's going to be at danger to risk his health or anything like that, especially against a Mario Barrios, because Pacquiao knows how to fight. Whenever you know how to fight, you know how to survive. You know how to slow things down. You know how to not take risks. Pacquiao only got knocked out 3 times in 72 fights. 2 of those were in the 90s, before you and I even knew him. And 1 time against Marquez, it was a 1-punch knockout. Those really don't take away from your career and your longevity. It was 1-punch knockouts. It's the beatdowns over a long period of time, for 10, 12, 11, 11 rounds. Those are the ones that catch up to you. Those are the ones that actually slow you down and are detrimental to your health. 1-punch knockouts, you can get past those. Early knockouts that are way back in the rearview mirror, you can forget those. Pacquiao's going to be just fine against Mario Barrios.
Podcast host Joe Rogan recently weighed in on Manny Pacquiao's stunning resurgence, and he didn't hide his admiration. Rogan expressed amazement at how, even at 46, Pacquiao still moves with the same speed and accuracy that defined his prime. He pointed to Pacquiao's impressive victory over Keith Thurman at age 40 as clear evidence that the boxing icon isn't merely resisting the effects of aging. He's actively outperforming it. At the time, Thurman was undefeated and considered a dangerous opponent, yet Pacquiao outmaneuvered and outboxed him with ease. Rogan noted that while most athletes experience a natural decline in reflexes and quickness, Pacquiao has defied expectations, continuing to compete at a world-class level. His unwavering discipline, top-tier conditioning, and deep passion for boxing have allowed him to remain competitive in a sport dominated by younger fighters. According to Rogan, Pacquiao's return isn't just symbolic, it's driven, powerful, and serious.
Yeah.
And
seeing him beat Keith Thurman at 40 years old, like, god damn, this guy's great. I mean, just look at his career with 8 different weight classes, world titles in 8 different weight classes. 40 years old, beats Keith Thurman, who's in his prime.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, what a man. I mean, what a world champion.
Well, he sure turned back the hands of time on that one.
Crazy.
Didn't he?
And he fought in spurts. Both of them fought in spurts. And I thought Keith was going to pick up on it, but Pacquiao was only fighting the end of the round.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. recently shared his perspective on Manny Pacquiao's return, expressing deep respect for the Filipino icon. He remarked that it's extremely rare for a fighter of Pacquiao's age to seriously re-enter elite-level competition. What sets Pacquiao apart, according to Jones, isn't just his decision to come back, but the intensity, commitment, and physical condition he's shown in doing so. Jones highlighted how few athletes, especially in a physically demanding sport, like boxing, can maintain the kind of discipline Pacquiao has displayed. His rigorous training, sharp execution during workouts, and ability to keep pace with much younger opponents reflect not only remarkable natural ability, but also incredible mental fortitude. Jones was clear that this is no nostalgia-fueled return. It's a deliberate, focused campaign. In his eyes, Pacquiao's ability to uphold world-class standards at this stage makes his comeback both legitimate and truly inspirational.
Feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny, and I'm glad Manny going in too. I'm not saying that Manny is not capable. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in 2 of his first 3 fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did. That story is also just as awesome as Vinny Pazienza's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
Well, you know what? Being that we're talking about these old fights, Roy, can you think you can rate your favorite 5 fights of your career of all time?
Of my career?
Yeah.
Yes. It would probably be James Toney, John Ruiz, Montel Griffin 2, Richard Hall, and probably Jeff Lacey.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
It showed that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, it just showed you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
As Mario Barrios prepares to step into the ring with the legendary Manny Pacquiao, he's approaching the fight with a calm yet determined mindset. In recent interviews, Barrios expressed deep respect for Pacquiao's legacy, but made it clear he doesn't see him as a fading star. Instead, he considers this bout the biggest moment of his career, a chance to make a lasting impact. Barrios acknowledges the challenge ahead, but plans to leverage his youth, size, and physicality to control the tempo and distance throughout. The fight. While he fully understands the weight of sharing the ring with a boxing icon, his self-belief remains unshaken. For Barrios, this isn't just about exposure or a paycheck, it's about victory. With a focused approach and a well-thought-out strategy, he's aiming to secure a career-defining win over Pacquiao, not by chance, but through disciplined execution and relentless pressure.
On Manny Pacquiao to do something, any fighter to do incredible stuff, I will bet that Manny Pacquiao will be the guy. And that's why he's one of the GOATs of the sport of boxing, or probably the GOAT, arguably. All right? Manny Pacquiao could beat Mario Barrios. Now, Mario Barrios is good. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to, devalue Mario Barrios, but Manny Pacquiao is just a special fighter, special human being, a freak of nature. I do, and like I said in the beginning, if these guys could do it, I believe that Manny Pacquiao could do it. He lives a wholesome life. He lives a sober life. He doesn't party around and stuff like that unless he's with the wife. He's a family man. He's a God-fearing man. And look, just like George Foreman was a God-fearing man who was living a clean life and stuff like that. I believe that Manny Pacquiao, with the power of Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? With the power of Christ, I believe that Manny Pacquiao could do it all. If he puts his mind to it, he works hard, he's focused on it. I think that Manny Pacquiao is that. And also, I believe why Manny Pacquiao could beat Mario Barrios this fall. Of course, that's the report that they're saying. That Manny Pacquiao is going to be back in the fall. ESPN broke the news. Mike Coppinger and Sean Gibbons, over every reporter, has reported at ESPN as well. And Manny Pacquiao has spoken as well. I think that Manny Pacquiao never got demoralized again. He never got demoralized when versus Ugas. And I just think that now he could focus just in boxing, because in the last several fights that Manny Pacquiao did have, he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because of course he was running for senator. He was in the Senate seat. He was playing government. You know what I'm saying? And he had a lot of response. Just as much he had a responsibility to prepare for a boxing match, he had a lot of responsibility for his country. So of course, there was a lot. He had a lot in his on his hands, on the table. But now, for the first time in a long time, Manny Pacquiao just focus on boxing. And if Manny Pacquiao is going to focus on boxing, if a dangerous man like Manny Pacquiao is going to focus on boxing, woo! Manny Pacquiao is going to go on the tear. He's going to go on the tear. And I don't think that Mario Barrios got the power to keep off Manny Pacquiao.
Despite his age and time away from the E sport, many in the boxing world still believe Manny Pacquiao has what it takes to come out on top. His legendary resume, capturing titles in 8 different weight classes and defeating numerous world champions, continues to command respect. If he manages to defeat Barrios, it won't just be another win on his record, it would mark a historic moment in his storied career. For many fans and analysts, this fight represents a chance for Pacquiao to quiet the doubters and further cement his legacy as one of the greatest fighters in boxing history.
Day one. Marvin, good. Good.
And now the 500 Philip.
One of the clearest indicators that Pacquiao's comeback is more than just for show is the intensity and structure of his training camp. Recent footage reveals him pushing through advanced conditioning routines, heavy bag work, and reflex training, highlighting a serious, purpose-driven approach. His team is clearly focused on building endurance, explosiveness, and precision, key traits needed to face a younger, physically imposing opponent like Barrios. This isn't just about staying in shape, it's about preparing to win. Even during his time away from the professional ring, Pacquiao never let his fitness slip. Unlike other fighters who return needing to rebuild their conditioning from the ground up, Pacquiao stayed active through basketball, gym work, and regular shadowboxing. As a result, his current training is more about fine-tuning than starting over. This unwavering commitment to staying in peak form could be the edge that allows him to exceed expectations in his return.
Campbell, Manny Pacquiao, the first and only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those 2 dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah, Reggie's a big Manny Pacquiao fan. He loves him because he knows about Father Time, because Father Time is undefeated. We know cats have 9 lives.
Boxing analyst Ryan Campbell offered a more nuanced viewpoint. While he acknowledged that fighters in their mid-40s inevitably face declines in stamina and reaction speed, he reminded fans of legendary comebacks, such as George Foreman's, made well past the age of 40. Campbell suggested that boxing occasionally creates rare opportunities where a fighter's preparation and legacy come together perfectly. He believes that if anyone can seize such a moment, it could be Pacquiao, thanks to his exceptional ring intelligence and top-tier conditioning.
29-year-old Mario Barrios.
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure, but let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today. But what about that experience? I think the biggest part of why people maybe not completely poo-pooing this or going 46 years old, what are we doing? Is this another Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight? No, it's not.
This fight goes beyond just winning. It's about cementing a legacy. Pacquiao is already regarded as one of boxing's greatest icons, but this comeback has the potential to elevate his status even more. A victory over Barrios would place him among the rare few fighters who returned not just for nostalgia, but to compete and triumph at the sport's highest level. For fans, it could serve as a powerful reminder of what makes boxing so captivating, the blend of determination, discipline, and pure talent. That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more updates.